Zeppelin, the Rain Song. Easily one of my favorites. I think there's an argument to be made for an awful lot of their songs, but as rock ballads go, that song is just legendary. It starts out with that G, that open G on the specially tuned guitar, a downward sweep, and eventually you start to hear the mellotron with these lush string arrangements and the piano and the middle sections where it's got that whole symphonic arrangement happening, and it's full of a lot of expensive chords, a lot of really richly textured chord structures borrowed from jazz. And in many ways, this song melds everything that is great about music, everything that is great about rock. And, of course, I think it's one of Led Zeppelin's masterpieces, of which there are many. We're going to look at it because I've created a piano adaptation that I think is kind of fun to play. It's very sparse, but it retains some of those lush textures. And it starts right off with, that G dropping into the G7, the F sharp, finally C minor and a C minor seventh, and I'm going to take you through this whole song. So let's begin. Let's take a look. You're into the verses. This song has 4 of them. It's a fairly long piece. You have a G to the G minor 7th, F to C, because that's really a string part introduced in the second verse, which is instrumental. So let's take a look at exactly how those are built. You have to slide from the E flat suspension to G minor 7, alternating between F and C. You do that 3 times in the first verse. It'll be 4 in the later verses, but once you get through them, you get to this. Let's take a look at that in detail. It starts with the G, this line in the bottom, and D to E flat to E. Finally to F to a G suspended 4th, and then C, B minor, to C again, and here's that wonderful little guitar part, back to the G. And this is where the cycle begins again, except this time, it introduces the mellotron, those wonderful, lush, textured strings. Through that, you start to have an extended version of the middle section. So once you get here, let's look at the extended part. Here's where it all goes haywire, of course, that middle section. I felt the coldness of my winter. Gives you this E flat sus again to And now let's talk about that ending. A legendary song has a legendary ending. We'll take the strings back out of it and go right to that G part. It repeats the bridge. That's the Rain Song. It's got one of the greatest endings of any rock song in history, quite frankly. And if you learn just that, people will recognize it instantly. But use it on a regular piano or something that has strings built in and have fun with it. Let me know how it goes in the comments. It's not that hard. Ultimately, it comes down to C, F, and G. But it's blasphemy to talk about this song as if it were that simple. It's just not as hard as it sounds. Like and subscribe and give me some feedback in the comments. Let me know how it goes with this song. Thanks a lot.